When the Minnesota Vikings selected Randy Moss in the 1998 NFL Draft, they had no idea they were drafting one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the game. Moss was a once-in-a-generation talent who redefined the wide receiver position, but nothing quite compared to the outrageous statistics of the 2007 season. That year with the New England Patriots stands out as one of the most impressive individual campaigns in NFL history. Moss hauled in a staggering 23 touchdown catches in the 07 season, a record that still holds strong today. In fact, no player has even surpassed 20 touchdowns in a season since Moss set the bar so high. Let's take a closer look at Moss's remarkable 2007 season, a campaign with a strong case to stand alone as the greatest single season any NFL receiver has ever recorded. On April 29, 2007, the Oakland Raiders traded Randy Moss to the Patriots in exchange for the 110th overall pick in the 2007 NFL Draft. The move was driven by Moss's desire to win games, and New England provided him with the perfect opportunity to join a storied franchise with championship aspirations. The trade sparked mixed reactions in the media. Some praised Moss's immense talent and the potential boost he could provide to the Patriots, while others questioned his stability, pointing out that he had been traded twice in just 3 years and was now on his third team in 4 seasons. Fortunately for Moss, there was no better coach to guide him than Bill Belichick. Under Belichick's leadership, Moss quickly adapted to the Patriot way, embracing the discipline and team-first mentality that would help shape his successful run in New England. In 2007, the New England Patriots were coming off of a 12-4 season that ended in disappointment, falling to the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship game. Throughout that season, the Patriots also faced turmoil in their wide receiver room. Deion Branch, the Super Bowl 39 MVP, held out to start the year after failing to reach a contract agreement with the team. Despite the Patriots' efforts, no deal was struck even after the season began, leading to Branch being traded to the Seattle Seahawks, leaving New England with a void in their receiving corps. Determined to find a star receiver to complement their potent offense, the Patriots made it a priority to secure a top-tier playmaker the following offseason. That's when the rumor of Randy Moss joining New England began to gain traction. Entering the 2007 season as a 5-time Pro Bowler with over 10,000 career yards and 100 touchdowns, Randy Moss had lofty expectations when he landed in New England. He wasted no time meeting those expectations, making a statement in his debut on September 9th against the New York Jets. Moss delivered an explosive performance, posting his highest receiving total of the season with 183 yards and a touchdown. It was a debut that not only set the tone for his year, but also showed the league and Darrelle Revis just how much of an impact he would have on his new team. Randy Moss followed up his impressive Week 1 performance with another stellar outing against the San Diego Chargers, who boasted one of the NFL's top defenses in 2007. The Chargers forced 48 turnovers that season, leading the league, but Moss was undeterred. He played a pivotal role in the Patriots' victory, racking up 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. By the end of Week 2, Moss had already proven his worth, making the Patriots trade look like a steal. The following week, Moss continued to dominate. He surpassed 100 yards again and found the end zone twice, bringing his season total to 5 touchdowns through just 3 games. This marked the best start of his career, showcasing the incredible potential of the Patriots' offense, powered by Tom Brady and Randy Moss, the 2 top players at their respective positions possibly ever. Randy Moss didn't miss a beat in Week 4, continuing to dominate against any defense he came up against. The Patriots cruised to a 34-13 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals, with Moss leading the charge. He racked up 102 yards on 9 receptions, surpassing 500 yards in just the first 4 games of the season. Moss also added 2 more touchdowns, bringing his league-leading total to 7. By the end of Week 4, the Patriots were sitting pretty at 4-0, with their biggest offseason acquisition making Bill Belichick look like an absolute genius. Randy Moss faced his first real challenge with the New England Patriots when they took on the Cleveland Browns. Struggling to find his usual rhythm, Moss managed just 3 catches on 8 targets for 46 yards, marking his lowest output of the season. For the first time all year, he was held out of the end zone. However, Moss wasted no time bouncing back, finding the end zone the following week in a matchup against Dallas. 6 weeks into the season, Moss was leading the NFL in touchdowns with 8, holding a slim edge over Braylon Edwards, who would finish the year in second place with 16 scores of his own. Despite the brief hiccup, Moss's dominance remained clear as he continued to outpace the league's best. The game down in Miami was all about Randy Moss and his absolutely electrifying second quarter, a performance that reminded everyone why he's one of the greatest wide receivers in NFL history. With 10:44 left before halftime, Moss hauled in his first touchdown of the day. It was a perfectly placed 35-yard strike from Tom Brady, and Moss made it look effortless as he outran the coverage and glided into the end zone. That score marked his 9th touchdown of the season, showing just how dominant the Brady-Moss connection had become in such a short time. But Moss wasn't even close to being done. After the Patriots' defense stepped up and forced a quick 3-and-out from the Dolphins, the Hall of Fame receiver was right back on the field and ready to make more noise. On the very next drive, Brady launched a deep ball, and Moss did what he does best, made magic happen. The 50-yard touchdown was classic Moss: speed, precision, and pure playmaking ability. It was his second score of the game and his 10th touchdown of the season, a milestone that he hadn't reached in either of his previous 2 years with the Raiders, where his talent was largely underutilized. Moss wasn't just putting up numbers, he was putting on a show. By the time the game was over, he had racked up an impressive 122 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. It was the kind of performance that left fans in awe and opposing defenses scrambling for answers. The Patriots, meanwhile, continued their undefeated march, improving to 7-0 on the season and looking every bit like a team destined for greatness. After back-to-back one-touchdown performances against the Redskins and Colts, Randy Moss delivered his best game of the season and arguably of his career. On a crisp Sunday night, the Patriots traveled to Buffalo for an AFC East showdown under the lights. After Lawrence Maroney got the scoring started with a first-quarter touchdown, it was Randy Moss's turn to shine. On the second drive of the game, Moss hauled in a 43-yard touchdown pass from Tom Brady, putting the Patriots up 14-0. After the Bills cut the lead to 1 score, Moss took over. Just 7 seconds into the second quarter, he caught his second touchdown of the game, a 16-yard strike from Brady. The Patriots' next possession was a methodical 10-play, 6-minute drive, capped off by Moss's third touchdown of the first half, completing a hat-trick before the break. And as fans had come to expect in this miraculous campaign, the wideout was warming up for another show-stopping stat line. With just 2:40 left in the half, Tom Brady orchestrated a 75-yard drive, finding Moss once again in the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the half and his league-leading 16th of the season. Randy Moss made history that day, setting the NFL record for the most receiving touchdowns ever scored in a single half. To put his performance into perspective, only Kellen Winslow, Jerry Rice, and Bob Shaw have ever scored more touchdowns in an entire game than Moss did in just 2 quarters. His record-breaking display remains etched in the NFL record books and is a feat unlikely to be surpassed anytime soon. After scoring his 16th touchdown with 6 games remaining in the season, a stunning feat in its own right, Randy Moss set his sights on breaking Jerry Rice's single-season receiving touchdown record of 22, set in 1987. However, against the Baltimore Ravens, Randy Moss faced yet another challenge. While he did manage to find the end zone for his 17th touchdown of the season, it was a quiet game by his usual standards. He was limited to just 34 receiving yards, his lowest total of the season to that point. This marked a noticeable dip in production compared to his earlier 4-touchdown explosion. However, even in the midst of these quieter outings, Moss's relentless pursuit of greatness was clear. His ability to deliver when it mattered most remained as evident as ever, solidifying his reputation as a game-changing playmaker. Refusing to let 2 quiet performances derail his pursuit of the touchdown record, Randy Moss bounced back in Week 14 with a dominant showing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Moss torched the Steelers' defense, racking up 7 receptions for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns in a commanding 34-13 victory, reminding everyone why he was one of the most feared playmakers in the game. He wasted no time, scoring his first touchdown with just over a minute remaining in the first quarter. Then, less than a minute into the second quarter, Moss struck again, breaking loose for a 63-yard touchdown. In an incredible span of just 1 minute and 59 seconds of game time, Moss found the end zone twice, continuing his unbelievable string of record-shattering, game-breaking achievements. Something about Moss suiting up with Brady was different, somewhat euphoric, and fans simply marveled at the two Canton-bound heroes week after week. After a quiet performance in Week 15 against Darrelle Revis, where Randy Moss was held out of the end zone, Moss entered the final 2 games of the season needing 3 touchdowns to tie Jerry Rice's record of 22, or 4 to break it. In Week 16, Moss wasted no time closing the gap. On the Patriots' first drive of the game, he found the end zone to bring his season total to 20 touchdowns, putting him just 2 away from tying the record. After a punt on their next possession, the Patriots orchestrated another impressive drive, marching all the way to the 1-yard line. Moss capped it off with his second touchdown of the game, 1 score shy of matching Jerry Rice's legendary mark, with plenty of time for the record left on the season. In the final game of the year, Randy Moss had the chance to make history while also helping his team chase perfection with the 16-0 season. After falling behind to the Giants, Moss put the Patriots on the board with their first touchdown of the day early in the second quarter. On a 4-yard pass from Tom Brady, Moss tied Jerry Rice's single-season touchdown record with nearly 3 quarters still to play. Trailing 28-23 as the fourth quarter began, Moss took matters into his own hands. With 11 minutes left in the game, he caught a 65-yard touchdown pass that not only gave the Patriots the lead, but also set a new NFL record with his 23rd touchdown catch of the season. After such a remarkable year, Randy Moss stood alone at the top of the list for the most receiving touchdowns in a single season in NFL history. He completed the feat in spectacular fashion, late in the final game of the regular season. New England went 16-0 that year, chasing the ever-elusive perfect season. While they fell short, their 16 wins were largely attributed to the all-time greatness displayed by Randy and Brady. For all the Super Bowls Brady won and all the great receivers he played with, he never quite had a guy like Randy Moss. The Hall of Famer's 2007 season is one of the greatest individual campaigns in NFL history. From the moment he joined the team, Moss transformed the Patriots' offense, providing a deep threat and a red zone weapon that defenses could hardly contain. Moss cemented his place in GOAT conversations with his historic 2007 performance, not forgetting that just the season prior, many had written him off, washed up, and forgotten. He answered the only way you'd expect him to, with greatness. From falling out of the limelight to flying into the end zone no less than 23 times. And almost 20 years later, still no other has even come remotely close to what Randy Moss did that year. Undefeated, unstoppable, Mossed.